Hello guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. If you have more than 20 or 30 pounds to lose, you gotta start from here. You gotta decide what kind of diet is best for you. There's a lot of YouTubes and information out there, and I understand that you might be confused and you might not know where to start. I'm gonna break down 5 main diets for you: low carbs, keto, intermittent fasting, carb cycling, and as well as intermittent fasting keto. So if you're interested, make sure you stay tuned for this entire video because I'm gonna share some awesome information you are not gonna want to miss. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Seppi and I've lost over 50 pounds over the past years, and I got an online certificate from Stanford University in nutrition so I can help you guys better on this channel. My channel is all about health, nutrition, and science, so if you're interested, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video from me. So here's the secret: no matter which one of these diets you choose, you're still going to see some visible results in the first 4 to 6 weeks. The struggle with weight loss, especially if you're trying to lose over 20 pounds, comes after this period. You have to make sure you choose the right diet and you stick with them, you exercise, and there's a lot more that goes into it if you want to lose more than 10 to 15 pounds. If you think about it, anybody can lose 10 to 15 pounds. The challenge becomes when you want to push beyond that. So in this video, I'm going to break all of these diets down for you so you can decide for yourself which one you want to try first and which one you're going to switch to after 4 to 6 weeks. So let's continue. So let's talk about low carbs diet. This diet includes between 20 to 50 grams of carb daily. That basically includes 1/3 of a cup of oats, half a cup of brown rice, and a lot of vegetable. That might sound a little intense, especially if you don't have the cleanest diet. That's why a lot of coaches and nutritionists like myself design a phase that is called the bridging phase, which is going to get you ready to ease into a low carbs diet. The bridging phase is basically designed to help you start working out and basically start eating a little bit cleaner than you are normal, and it's going to gradually decrease your carb to a point where you want to get there, to a point that you're going to be consuming only 20 grams to 50 grams of carbs a day. So in order to make the low carbs diet sustainable so you can do it easily, make sure you follow your coaches and your dietitian's advice and you do it very gradually as opposed to just jumping into it. So the most important points to notice for a low carbs diet is that number 1, you make sure you have a higher fat and protein intake so you don't crash, and number 2 is that you have to stick with this diet for at least 8 weeks to enjoy its full benefits. Let's talk about ketogenic diet. I recommend this diet for people who are extremely addicted to carbs or people who really like fatty food. For example, on this diet, you're going to be consuming a lot of fatty fish, grass-fed beef, a lot of different kinds of oils like cold-pressed oils, sesame oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Now, if you're interested in ketogenic diet, we do design a bridging phase to keto as well, where you actually start with unhealthier fat and then you bridge into healthier fat. So one of the problems with ketogenic diet is that you have to actually keep your carbs under 20 grams per day, and that only includes vegetables. So you can't really consume any legumes, any starches, or any grains, which are all really important food groups for your health, and they provide a lot of nutritional benefit to your body. Now, I only would recommend ketogenic diet to people who are suffering from some kind of health condition and they need to stay away from carbs, or people who are really addicted to carbohydrates and they need to take a break from it. So we switch them to higher fat so they don't crash so much, and it basically helps a lot of people. I personally also have experience with ketogenic diet. I actually went on keto for a whole year, and what I didn't like about it was that I didn't have enough energy. Even though they say that you switch to burning fat instead of carbs and glycogen and you're going to be clear-minded and everything, but I couldn't really stay consistent with it. So on my cheat meals I would have carbs because I really liked carbs. It wasn't a diet that I could sustain for a longer period of time. Now, if you're a type of person who can go on and be on keto for 4 to 6 weeks, kudos to you. I think you could really enjoy its benefit, but for me it wasn't something that I could really stick to, so I had to switch to a lower carb diet instead. Now let's talk about carb cycling. Carb cycling is basically a diet that goes from a high carbs day to a medium carbs day to a low carbs day, and you stick to this and you keep going and rotate between these days, and you design it with your workout. So for your high carbs day, you're doing legs. For your medium carbs day, you're doing back or upper body, and then for your low carbs day, you're just doing cardio, walks, and yoga, or you have a rest day. Now I basically only recommend carb cycling for people who are professional health fanatics, or they have some kind of bodybuilding composition in mind to have for their body, because it does have really good weight loss benefits, but it's really hard to stick to. For example, for people who socialize, it's really hard to stick to, because you have to really design your social and outings with these days, and if you really mess it up, then you won't really get the full benefits of it. Let's now talk about my favorite diet, intermittent fasting. This is something that I stayed away from myself for the longest period of time because I thought I could never handle the hunger. But you know, your body has a way of adjusting, and you learn to adjust to those fasting periods, and you actually start to enjoy it once you see the benefits, such as having a lot of energy and having better digestion. I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but I recommend intermittent fasting to people who are a little bit more intermediate. They have a really good knowledge of nutrition, so they know exactly what to feed their body in order to stay healthy and energized during their fasting and non-fasting period. I also recommend this to people who have hit a plateau in their weight loss, so they have about 5 to 10 pounds to lose and they're kind of stuck with their weight loss. It really helps their body because it keeps the body guessing. It's something new, your body's getting adjusted, and you're gonna start losing weight right away. I also recommend intermittent fasting to people who live really busy lives and they don't have the time to prepare food, and they still want to stay healthy and they want to lose weight, which I talked about in this video. You guys can click, I'm gonna leave a link in the description below. I talk about how we can actually help people who are really super busy to do intermittent fasting the best way possible, and they can achieve their weight loss goals. Again, I have to remind you that intermittent fasting can be a little tricky because it will slow down your metabolism. So if you already have a fast metabolism, it will slow it down, and you know, as you age or as you decide to go back to normal eating, you might experience some weight gain. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. So what we normally do with our clients, we do intermittent fasting for 8 weeks, and then we kind of walk them back to normal eating 5-6 meals a day, and we kind of go back to intermittent fasting. So that way you always keep your body guessing and you can enjoy its full benefit. Now if you're older and you do intermittent fasting for health reasons, it's a very good diet. If it's something you can stick to for the rest of your life, why not? Your bodies are adjusted. It's a very good diet to follow. As long as you're eating healthy, I don't see any problem with doing intermittent fasting for the rest of your life. It's a really good diet to follow. So before I start talking about one of the most effective diets of all time, please make sure you comment below and let me know which one is your favorite and which one have you had any experience with, and what your experiences have been with any of these diets. I would love to hear from you. Maybe in the next video I can talk about one of your experiences. Intermittent fasting keto is one of the most effective fat loss diets that are out there if you can stick to it. You actually might find it a little difficult to stick to, especially if you work out. So your body either uses glucogenolysis, which is basically burning carbs or glycogen for energy, or your body is going to start using fat, or they go in ketosis, so they use fat for energy. So it takes time for your body to actually get adjusted to this process, and during this process you're gonna feel really exhausted. You might actually get the keto flu. So this is the process that you have to go through before you actually start feeling energized and your body gets adjusted to it. Our bodies actually have a lot more storage for fat as opposed to glycogen for carbs. So once you do intermittent fasting keto, your body has a lot more room to burn stuff for energy, and you're not eating for a long period of time. So your body is going to start burning the energy and the fat that you have actually stored in your body between your organs. So it works really well and really fast. Now let's talk about the problem with this diet. Now I don't know anybody my age or our age that can actually stick to a diet like that. First of all, we do a lot of outing and social gatherings and parties and things like that, so we can't really stick to a ketogenic and intermittent fasting diet? What are the chances that we go to a party and there's only fat, for us to eat? So it's really hard to stick to. And on the second note is that our brain really likes using glucose for energy. So if you're not giving it glucose, ketones are not the best energy sources for our brains. And since our brains are active, we're either working, entrepreneurs, and we have really serious jobs that we do on a daily basis, I don't think it's the best diet for us. So when you're older, you don't really have a lot of brain activities and you're not really striving to do much. Depending on the type of person you are, of course, you could be old and very aggressive, but when you're slowing down, it might be a good diet for you to follow, and you're not using a lot of brain function, so that also helps, and you don't have a lot of physical activity. So I think that would be something that I recommend for somebody who is a little bit older and who's also living a little bit of a routine life. In terms of exercising, I think any type of exercise that works with you, whatever you like performing, and it could change from time to time. You don't really have to stick with something. You could try different things and then find out what you really like and kind of stick to it. For me, I started with a lot of dancing and Zumba, and I got into cardio and HIIT and cycling, and then I did bodybuilding, and I really fell in love with the bodybuilding and building muscles, which has really helped me transform the shape of my body, and also it helps me eat and handle a lot more calories. Because I have a lot of muscles now, I can actually burn more calories and I can eat more calories. So when I actually go out crazy for a cheat day, or I do something crazy with my diet, I can handle it a lot better than I did 3 years ago. So if that's something you like to be able to do, I think building muscles could also be a part of your routine, and it will really definitely help and speed up your fat loss process as well. At the end of the day, you have to find out what works best for you, what you could follow, what is sustainable for you. You can work with a coach, try the bridging program, and kind of bridge into the perfect diet for you. If you wanted to book an appointment with me, it's absolutely free for the first 30 minutes. I will leave a link in the description below. You can click on it, book. My schedule is there. I would love to talk to you. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this video. It really makes me happy, you guys liking and subscribing and really supporting me with this channel. This is very, very new to me. I'm still really getting used to making YouTube videos. If I hit 1,000 subscribers, I promise myself I will buy a proper camera. So if you want to motivate me, please make sure you subscribe so I can actually order a camera for myself. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.